Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Inkkery podcast with me, Chris, also known as Inkkery, and James, also known as CharltonTCG. In today's episode, we're diving deeper into the new set and highlighting some cards we like the look of, and you'll need to seriously consider putting in your set 11 decks. Last week, we rated the new legendaries of the set, so if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. But James, why don't you kick us off? We've got 4 amber cards here to talk about. Do you want to get us underway with Raging Storm?
Yes. It's a board wipe. It's what people have asked for.
Yes, it's
And
here.
and Ravensburger have delivered, but they've made it quite costly. They've made it uninkable, and they've made it in amber, which is notorious for healing and being all nice. And what else does it do? Make things pay less
Singing, cute and cuddly
and
singers.
singing, get moving damage, drawing some cards, and boom, board wipe. So I kind of expected it. I think a lot of people expected it after Be Prepared going, simply because the only way we've been able to deal with things is combo pieces for board wiping, which should be a thing and should stay.
Hmm.
And I think this kind of keeps people quiet and gives them a little toy to play with. But it being restricted in amber kind of makes me happy because I don't see it seeing much play. But saying that, the more the sets come out, the more it goes on, the more tools Amber will have to potentially super make this really good.
Yeah, to follow it up. That's the key
Yeah,
thing,
to
isn't
follow
it?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to get a playset of it. I don't see it being played in playsets, but
No.
it's just like it's good to have. I think at the end of the year when set rotation comes out, if like Tipo and Sale don't get replaced, then that would be really
Yeah.
interesting meta.
That's a good
But
point.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen it as some
What do you
free.
think?
Oh, excuse me. I've seen it as some free ofs. In some early builds of Amber Sapphire, which is
Yeah,
the ink pairing that you'd think that it suits the best.
it
I
has to
think
be. It
it's
has to be. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I think it's definitely playable. It's good, actually. Yeah, it is good. It is, like you said, quite limiting in what you compare it with. I think maybe Amethyst, but mostly it's going to be Sapphire. One of the cards that we'll
the
talk
thing is,
about.
like, you've got to like be careful of when you play it and
Hmm.
what your hand looks like. So a lot of the decks kind of require you to run a lot of Sapphire decks require you to run a lot of like card draw to keep up with the inking and the ramping. Obviously, Moana helps with not losing your hand because you're
Hmm.
playing the the discarded sail to your ink instead of from your hand. So that helps, but unfortunately, I don't think there's enough in the deck to follow up from a Raging Storm. When I was playing the Amber Sapphire like detective build, one of my go-to cards to replenish my hand was the Carefree Stitch.
Yep.
But outside that, it's like you'd have to start all over again and just
Yeah,
you know
so one thing that I've seen people doing and something I've tried out myself a little bit in testing is a card we're going to talk about when we get to Sapphire, which is the new Tamatoa, which has Ward. Um, Putting these sorts of cards in your Amber Sapphire deck with really high willpower and Ward can be really beneficial because you play that Tamatoa after a Raging Storm, it's sticking, and then
yeah.
this deck probably also runs a Hanamene's Family as part of its card draw package, and a amber item called Webby's Diary, I want to say. So in the build that I was testing with, you run the Sapphire Scrooge McDuck that puts a card under all of your characters when you play him, and Webby's Diary reads something along the lines of whenever you put a card under one of your characters with boost, you can pay 1 ink to draw a card. And it can end up, if the game goes long enough, that can end up being an extremely efficient draw engine. So you build up your hand, you control the board as best you can with some other bits like Let It Goes and Hades and stuff like that. if things get out of hand, you Raging Storm, and you've got a really healthy hand to follow it up. So it can be good.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
But yeah,
Right,
we'll probably move
Bambi.
on to
I
another
like
card.
Bambi. Oh, sorry.
You want to do Bambi? Yeah. Yeah,
Before
Bambi's
we move on to Bambi, make sure you like and subscribe to both channels.
nice.
There you go.
Perfectly placed. Yeah, okay, so
Do you want to talk about
Bambi.
Bambi?
Yeah, 4-cost, inkable 3/4. I've spoken about this card in my top 10 video recently. Brilliant
Yeah,
card. Super rare, so maybe not going to be easy to get 4 of in the opening couple of weeks.
especially in
But
foil.
especially in foil, if you want foils of this card, you're going to have to pay through the teeth, I think, because it's going to be
Yeah,
a
I think it might be
pricey
Cheshire
one.
Cat vibes. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, another card draw kind of engine that you could slot into amber decks, character focused decks mostly. Putting a Bambi into like these decks with develop your brains, lots of actions, lots of songs, probably not the best idea because you will end up bottom decking them.
yeah,
But he can be really good. Amber Amethyst is something that I've been putting him into. You can play him on curve. You can play him on turn 6 with a boost. Either one's good because even if you do play him on curve on your turn 3, maybe the 3/5 body's actually like it's pretty good. And this is a deck that's running Cheshire Cats, running. Well, my version was running the new Colors of the Wind. So you play Bambi, sing Colors of the Wind. When there's a card under him, you're getting that character from Bambi plus 2 more
a
cards
draw.
potentially
Yeah,
from Colors of the Wind. So yeah, pretty good card. What are
yeah.
your
I like
thoughts?
the fact. I just like the fact that this card has an effect on exert. So it
Mm.
could be singing, it could be questing, it could be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really neat. I think it's quite unique as well. Um, and yeah, it kind of gives some people to have mess around with the idea of playing some more songs in their deck. Um, but boost two is quite costly on a card that costs four.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find ways to cheat into boosting, like recovered pages is so good with this card because recovered pages actually, I think it looks at the top four and adds a character card,
Yeah,
and
that's
then it
right.
has the pay one to banish to then boost. So cheating the boost with I think recovered pages is going to be a fun card
Mm.
to utilize these new boost cards. But yeah, really really cool card, and I hope it sees play because it's quite a unique way of like searching or drawing, besides just using visions to dig or just generic draw one card. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Right, another amber card then. One that you put forward, and I agree, really cool, uncommon for the set is Nani Stage Manager. Why don't you tell us
Yeah.
about this one?
So when you play her, you look at the top four cards and you may reveal a character card with cost two or less and put it into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the whole bottom deck stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, she's probably going to be a massive staple in decks that go low to the ground. I instantly, when I think about this, I instantly think of Dark and Calhoun's, and so a lot of steel cards
Mm.
that cost very little. I'm thinking about some of the Lilo cards that cost little, especially if you have a rock star Lilo on curve. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to get Lilos into hands pretty good. Um, I think when I opened my box and I read her, like that's pretty good. And then afterwards, I went through all the cards
Yeah,
again and went,
I was gonna
"Oh, hang on,
mention
this is actually
this.
bonkers."
So like people over when a card says something like look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal a character, yeah. So if this card read when you play this character draw a card, everyone would be raving about her. But because she's got this wordy top 4 reveal, it's like, oh yeah, she's okay. But actually, if she was a free cost inkable 3/3 in amber that read when you play her draw a card, then I think she'd be considered in much higher regard. So I really like
But
Nani.
but she's brilliant because I sometimes really don't like the actions that do these sort of things. I think
Mm,
I obviously Visions is the most bonkers card,
mm,
but this puts a body on the board as well.
exactly.
So like if you're playing this in dogs and you have something that costs three for
Mm.
some of your songs, but then yeah, you're not necessarily looking for an answer, but you might be looking for an answer because this could get you go, and it could be game after that.
That's a good point.
Um, And so yeah, it can search loads of ground cards really, really well. It can search answers, as in like, or questions, as in like, I'm going to run away with this game now because you haven't negged on playing a character.
Yeah. Awesome. Good card. Good card.
Because that's the issue. That's the issue with loads of ground decks. You ink and play, so you've just lost two cards. So with this, you ink, you play, you add, so you just lose one card rather than two cards.
Exactly that. Perfect. Cool. Right. Time to
Yarp.
talk about the big bad of the set, Grandmother Willow. Lots of discussion around Grandmother Willow. The 2-cost uninkable 1/2 that reads, once during your turn, you may pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn.
Yeah.
So basically, a lantern, but a character, and you don't have to exert Grandmother Willow to activate the effect, which is obviously pretty strong and kind of becomes what people are saying is a little bit of a problem in dogs decks, where you can go really, really wide with the likes of Lilos and Pudges very early on and get to some early tramp street smart dogs on turn 3.
Yeah.
Also, this card is being used in Rockstar Stitch decks, where if you don't know Rockstar Stitch, when you play a character, you can exert them to draw a card. If you have some Willows down, you can do some pretty nasty stuff where you're going like 10 cards wide in a single turn sometimes if you're hitting like Lilos and Pudges and Grandmother Willows and triggering them all for the next card you play and exerting and drawing and exerting and drawing.
Pudge, like Pudge with Rockstar Stitch is bonkers.
Mm. But another thing is this card just becomes a 4 of in a lot of Amber Amethyst decks. Something that isn't as big of an issue. It's certainly less powerful. Amber Amethyst has been able to do kind of the ramp on turn 2 for a while with Lantern. It just makes it way more consistent. So Grandmother Willow is really, really good. And people calling for a ban on her, I'm not so sure. I think that...
The only reason why people are saying that is because there's a squirrel in the picture.
Is that why?
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's Bucky.
Yeah, I think I actually got caught on Twitter when someone actually posted the picture of Willow. I was like, hang on, that is Bucky, but someone had put Bucky in the middle. I was like, oh, that's why they want the ban.
So yeah, it's a really good card. Basically becomes an Amber staple, I would say, because
it's removable. So like, if this card was
removable.
Ward, then I'd be on the train. I'd be on the steam train.
Yeah,
but you can out it really, really easily. You make it go sideways
nice.
easily. I think it's crazy that we have a card that's not like Pluto, where Pluto has to go sideways. Because usually Pluto can just do it once because you're getting rid of Pluto, like with anything. But the fact that this can just sit ready, just sit there doing that, having that effect.
Tigger next. Tigger is awesome and has an awesome epic, so I'm really excited about this card. Do you want to talk to us about Tigger?
Yeah, I really like Tigger. It kind of keeps the theme. My favorite theme of the game is the bounce concept. This can help you sort out anything that's problematic on the board for your opponent's side, or you can be bouncing things to your side. I can't remember many 2-cost locations. However, if like maybe a location is really close to perishing, this could just bounce it back, which is kind of cool.
Oh, like one of your own.
Yeah, one of your own. Like you can just let's say someone's just crashed into a mine and it has 5 damage on it. You can just bounce it back to hand, and like it feels like your opponent's just wasted.
The uses are pretty like endless. You could talk about this card for ages. You can be bouncing your own docks back, your own go-go's back. You can be bouncing the opponent's like Lantern or Grandmother Willow. You can do loads.
You can bounce your Flynn Riders, especially if you can, because there's a lot of cards now that require to put boost stuff under. So like Flynn Riders can bounce quite well. My only issue with this card is the 4-cost, and so I would have taken this as a 3-drop with lower stat lines, but now this is competing with a lot of good 4-drop Amethyst cards.
Yeah. I still think it makes those lists though. Like it's in my Blurple deck. It's in the Amber Amethyst deck that I've built for this weekend. Like that, it honestly it does hold its own, and against those meta forecast Amethyst cards, it's so good against aggro decks, just to slow them down. Um, yeah, and the
Yeah,
4/3
especially with
stat line's
like
pretty good.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
once
it's
he's
really
down,
good.
like
It's
yeah.
really
So
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Right,
because
really like
like
Tigger.
yeah, I like to go. Yeah,
A card that's quite similar in what it does in many ways is Isis Vanderchill. Not bouncing, but when you play her, you're exerting any chosen opposing character.
yeah.
Um, Uninkable though, with a 4/4 stat line. So what do you think about Isis?
Yeah, it's. I think people are going to be playing with it, play testing in Ruby Amethyst and Blurple.
Hmm.
The fact that it can like make things go sideways a turn earlier to Elsa is, I think, is quite good.
Yep.
I think it will be something that people try. I'm not sure if it will stick. I don't think. I think because Blurple can draw quite a few cards. I think maybe it could be a one-off like tech pick
Yep.
for the deck. It depends. I think it's really meta dependent because if you
Yeah.
are playing in a room full of aggro and you want to play Blurple, then it's like yeah, you put it in there. Um,
Spot
but
on.
it depends on like how decks run, and you go right. I need a 4/4 here, or sorry, I need something that makes something go sideways, so my one drops or my two drops can then
Trade up.
deal with it. Yeah, trade up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like her exerting Calhoun's on curve and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, that's pretty good because sometimes with like Calhoun's, it keeps everybody ready. It like
exactly.
slows everyone down, and so yeah, it's exerting Calhoun can be so punishing to the other player
Yeah.
because it's sometimes Calhoun can be like that little safety net. So making that go sideways and then Rafiki into a Calhoun is pretty good.
Yeah. Also, like you can tap Lexington really early in a game, so they're not readying that Lexington for a good 2 or 3 turns sometimes, which can be
And it
quite
could it
nice.
could it could stop them from singing like strength as well if you do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So she's good. She's really good.
Yeah, the
I just
uninkable does
because
hurt her
yeah
more than Tigger, obviously, because it's much safer to put a
yeah,
Tigger in your deck than a Vanderchill. But
and then you're competing with Dumbo and Genies, so it's like
yeah,
how many four drops do you want?
yeah. Cool. Right. Next up is Alice. Tell us about
Another four drop.
Alice. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Four.
think most of our list is some cards that people are talking about, especially some of the pro players, and some cards that we've kind of nitpicked that we'd like to have a chat about that probably aren't getting much, um, you know,
Love.
much love or. But
Yeah.
with Alice, I think I do want to keep a theme of like looking at some of the boost cards,
Mm-hmm.
and we can start boosting quite a lot now in the game with the Scrooge, with some of the items.
Minnie
And
Mouse.
there's a few cards that are like yeah some cards like Minnie Mouse just put stuff under anything, but if you're putting stuff under Alice and the card sticks, you're effectively drawing from the boosted stuff underneath. So
Yeah.
it's cool. I'd like to play it. Um, Maybe I'd be more happy with lower stat lines and she quests for two, because like every time I look at these kind of cards, I want them to compete with Genie. It's just
I don't
Genie's
know. I
so
think the
good,
stat
isn't it?
line helps her. I don't.
Yeah,
I'd rather have this than questing for two with 3/3 or something like that, because when you quest in, obviously you're going to draw that card potentially, or maybe more than one, and then the opponent has to deal with her. And 4/4, she might get you a 2-for-1 trade or something like that, because I don't know,
yeah, because
thinking of
Genie does that, doesn't it? Genie's quite easy to remove at the moment with moving damage and stuff like that.
mm,
But I think Alice is a fun card to pair with the new Donald Duck, the new Scrooge, the Mini.
yeah,
What's it called? Recovered Pages. She's cool. And then yeah, I like her. It's been a while since we've had a cool Alice card or a good Alice card. This might be a good one. Surprised it didn't get any like epic treatment.
Yeah, it looks like something that you'd add some shiny epic stuff to, but yeah, they give it to
Yeah,
Tigger, didn't they?
Alice doesn't get much. The IP doesn't get much love. Not
Uh,
as much as love as like
yeah,
Elsa,
you
but
might be
no,
right. Yeah, you're probably right.
I think she's a green. I think she's a green purple kind of card.
I agree.
Um, yeah, and that's
Nice.
the sort of deck I want to look into because obviously I hyped Donald Duck quite a lot
Yeah.
last time we had a little video.
No, I think you rightfully hyped him. I think he's a brilliant card, and I like,
Mm.
Amethyst Emerald could be quite a serious deck this set. Like
A lot of
genuinely.
people are putting the Shere Khan in from last set for some Tiger.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm not sure on that one. I think that might
I'm not
be
sure.
yeah, that's a
Might be a
cool
flex
card,
spot.
but yeah. Right then, another boost card for our Amethyst chat, and it's Genie, Magical Researcher, free cost inkable
Yeah.
3/4. Another epic. He has an epic version. This one is a cheaper boost. He only costs 1 to boost, and with each card under him gets +1 lore. I
Yeah.
really like Genie. Really like him.
I can't see, with my limited knowledge, I
Mm,
can't see where he's good. Um,
okay.
it feels like a quick way, a quick way to gain lots of lore.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
there was a
exactly what
lot
it
of
is.
hype about the card when it came out, and I was like, is it just because it's like a good aggro card or a good finishing the game kind of card?
Hmm.
Tell me your thoughts.
Well, there's nothing wrong with him being a good aggro card. Like he is questing for a lot of the time, and has a cheap boost, pairs perfectly with that Donald that you like, and the new Minnie Mouse, which we'll get onto, I'm sure. Like he's cheap to boost. You're questing for 2 most of the time, but it's pretty easy to get up to a quest for 3, quest for 4 sometimes. I really like him. Surprised that you're not more excited about this dude.
He didn't fly under the radar, did he? Um, I think a lot of people have gone, oh, this genie's incredible, and when
Mm,
they do that, I start looking at elsewhere.
fair
No,
enough.
no, I think I'll definitely play it. I think it's just another green purple kind of card, which is
Yeah.
more than fine because I think those colorways are really cool.
I
I
think there's a
just
world as well where you kind of a more aggressive build of Amber Amethyst. You can
yeah,
Willow
I
on
do know.
turn 2, Genie
My
on
issue
3
is
with a boost.
my issue is it gains lore. Like I know the whole point of the game is to go to 20,
Yeah,
but whenever there's an effect that just goes gain lore, I kind of switch off and I get kind of bored of it.
okay, fair enough.
Whereas, do you know what I mean though? Like if something says pay one less, or when this quest add from boost, or when you play this rip a card from opponent's hand, and do you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
fact that it just goes gain one lore, it doesn't feed my, it's not stimulating at all, and
Hmm.
that's probably why I don't have any hate. I think the card's cool,
Yeah.
and I think the epic's really cool, and maybe there'll be a point where I play it. It's just like it doesn't combo with anything, and it's like when you want to bounce that card, if you get lots of boost stuff, it's like I guess you just go you quest right
And
for
then
tons,
bounce.
and then
Yeah.
you bounce it, but yeah, maybe it puts your opponent in like difficult situations to remove it. Maybe it puts you in a position where it's like, right, I'm gonna gain loads of lore, draw loads of cards, and it's like, right, pass to your opponent, and they go, oh, you're quite close to winning, and now you have 4 cards in your hand, 5 cards in your hand, and then they go, GG's, let's go to the next game. Maybe that's what Genie will do, that kind of pressure. But
Mm.
I haven't really thought about it. Sorry,
No,
sorry,
no.
YouTube.
Well, another kind of is a stackable lore card is Genie, and another one where you can kind of boost the lore is Mulan, resourceful recruit in Emerald. She's a 2 cost inkable 1/4 that whenever this character quests, gain lore equal to her strength to a maximum of 6.
Yeah,
So another big aggro card, and one that I'm sure will go in pretty much all dog decks from now on,
yeah.
because it synergizes with Tramp Enterprising Dog so well. What do you think about Mulan?
Oh, I think she's rubbish.
No, you don't.
Yeah, just banish her with all your things. Is that why people have been playing Fire the Cannons everywhere? Is that one of the reasons?
What do you
I think we
mean?
had a chat last week. You were like, "Oh, everyone's just firing the cannons, everyone,"
Well,
because
yeah,
of how popular aggro is.
the fire the cannons is for the grandmother Willow mainly. Fire the cannons wouldn't really help against Mulan, would it? So
Oh, is it? I thought it was a 1-2.
no, one
Is it one
four.
three? Oh, 1-4. Oh,
Now you like it.
I don't care. Like again, it genuinely like I understand it has now a place in a dog deck, which it shouldn't do
Mm.
because there's an action that's coming out saying give +5 to something, which is a Mulan card, and it's Ruby, and it's like they're built that for that, right? And then it's like, well, we can put it in this quite good deck or this really good deck, and then just tramp it. Which tramp is a bonkers card, and I think good players have always known that, right?
Oh yeah.
It gains law, so it's just boring.
Okay.
It's but like it is a bad card outside that. So outside the tramp. So if you've got a 60 card deck, you're looking for tramp, and then you're looking for Mulan. Mulan can be quite a bad card in lots of times if you don't see that. So
That's fair
it's
enough.
another try and find your pieces kind of thing,
Do you not
and
think
that's
though
what
that
puts me off.
there's lots of other way a deck I was trying her in Amethyst Emerald the other day and had the forecast genie that when he's exerted your other characters get +2 strength. So if this
Yeah.
guy's got 3 strength just from that, or free 2 strength just from a Lumiere and quest for 2, like
That's cool though. That's really cool because you have the evasive song, right? It gives it +3.
um
Because some people have been playing the song deck because obviously the Ruby one, the +5 one, is a song. So if you like have
oh
some
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
max goof kind of thing
You're
going
talking
on,
about stand out, which gives it evasive,
stand
and
out. Yeah,
yes, that's a good point. Hadn't even thought about stand out, so that's a good
that
one.
those combos with that and like maybe even sharpshooter like Robin Hood,
Mm.
that's cool because that's like proper cooking. But the fact that it can just go straight into dogs and someone goes, I'm just going to play a tramp and then just make it really big, quest for 6, pass turn. I'd rather,
You
yeah,
like the off meta stuff. That's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
Um,
But maybe hopefully it means Ruby Emerald might be more fun
yeah, absolutely. A
because like
card
the
that
last
you
two
might end up
DLCs like
go on.
zero decks.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry.
no, yeah, you're right. A card that you might end up playing in your Emerald Ruby Song off meta deck is Strike a Good Match,
Yeah,
which is a reprint.
yeah. Good reprint. It
Hmm.
it fixes your hand. Yeah, draw two, discard one. The fact that it's a song means that you can obviously sing with it and not use your ink.
Hmm.
And I think it's going to be really. I think people will play it in their cow builds or their Prince Philip builds, um, because sometimes it just doesn't hurt to sing with the Donald Duck. But then sometimes, yeah, I think Strike the Good Match is a very valid card to talk about because like even with Tipo can sing it
Yeah, Tipo
um,
singing it is a good one. That's a good
really
point.
really good. And yeah, going turn 3, drawing 2 and discarding a card, and
Mm.
it's just another card that can like utilize the whole discard thing that's going on this set because we want to load up with Lilos and stuff
Yeah,
for Arna
you could
and
play it in
yeah,
Circle of Life as well if you wanted to.
Circle of Life. Yeah, I think
Cool.
I think it's a cool card. I think a lot of people will start messing around with it. I hope they do because I think it has a place. And like even in dogs, you could just sing Mowgli with it to draw 2, discard 1, then you're discarding the Lilo. I think it's cool.
Nice. All right then. Moving on to our next Emerald card. Why don't you tell us all about Minnie Mouse, Mrs. Cratchit?
I really like this card. I think she's
Same.
wicked. And every time I think about Emerald cards, I do think about it being paired with Sapphire. And So 5 cost cards don't really worry me too much.
Hmm.
I can tell that they're kind of slowed down on ward cards because there's not many wards, I don't think, this set. Because ward is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
But she's got ward, and then when you play her, you may put the top card of your deck face down under one of your characters or locations with boost, and you draw a card. So you draw a card, and you're giving Genie a lore, or you draw a card and you're giving the opportunity for Alice to go sideways. Because there's obviously I'm talking about Amethyst Cards now after
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Sapphire, but like you're questing of Alice, and then that card coming back to your hand. So you've drawn a card and you've added from Alice's boost.
Yeah.
So
It really is such good value
good
in
card.
literally any boost deck. Like, talk about, well, Alice you mentioned, but Bambi, there's the new Emerald Goofy that when he's banished, your opponent discards the number of cards that were under him. Like, there's honestly, like, Minnie Mouse just goes in every single boost deck now. She is
I
so,
really
so
like
good.
her. That's a
Yeah.
well designed card.
Yeah, I
With
agree.
Goofy, is it on your turn
No, it's whenever
or
he's banished.
oh, but okay, so he could literally just kamikaze and then
Yeah.
discard 2. Oh,
Let me
okay, that's
fact
cool.
check that really quickly, just in
Yeah,
case I'm wrong. Goofy, Ghost of Jacob Marley. When this character is banished, yeah. So it's whenever. It can be during your turn or the opponent. Any quest for
makes him
2.
better. Makes him way better.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, cool. Right, that's Mini. Final Emerald card that we're going to talk about is Snow Fort. What do you think of this one?
I haven't got it up. I
That's
have all my
okay.
Duke Weselton, all my Duke Weselton targets up.
Okay, well I can take Snow Fort. So basically, what this card's
I've
doing
got it now.
is giving all of your characters +1 strength, and during the opponent's turn, all of your characters gain resist.
This card is good.
Yeah, I thought you might like this one.
I mean, I've just gone on Dreamborn and like the first thing says Winterspell dogs, so a little bit annoyed about that. But it's really cool because it's Lumineer and then it has that resist one when you pass turn. It would be broken if it had resist one and +1 say like on your turn as well. This is a cool card.
I like that you've
It's
instantly
really it's
paired it
weird.
with
It's not a
Ruby.
location. What's
You've gone.
that?
I like that you've just gone straight to Ruby with like Lumiere stuff. But that's yeah. I was thinking more like Chromacon decks that already can get away with playing the Chromacon. You play this instead, and like your trades end up just being so much better, and you're just really like difficult to interact with. And
Oh,
there's
this is
some,
this could make dogs worse. Like terrible to play against.
yeah, exactly. Like it when your stuff sideways and it's got resist and +1 strength, and you've got no way of dealing with Snowfort because it's an item and hard to remove. Yeah, things can get pretty spicy,
So
pretty tasty, pretty
this
quick.
is one of the issues I have with this. Like when you've got Daisy Duck, Grandmother Willow. Like even if you go like Stitch a Lilo into a few Pudges,
Yeah.
like with a Snow Fort,
Yeah, man. Pudges
that's a
with
big problem.
resist and 2 strength. That's crazy. Imagine that. Yeah,
Even Willow, like getting the resist, becoming a one
absolutely.
two with a resist,
Yeah.
and then like a Daisy. Yeah, it's a good card. I'm
Yeah,
glad it's
Willow.
uninkable. It keeps
Yeah,
it
same.
balanced.
Yeah. Cool.
But like item green blue might become a good items deck.
I
Because they
hope
do
so.
have some good items.
Yeah, that would be nice to see something like that back. I just think this being uninkable, you
Oswald.
probably might struggle with that.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
right, moving on
Next
to
color.
Ruby. Yeah.
Yep.
We've got 4 to choose from here. We've got Goofy, Slushy, Marching Off the Battle, and Grab Your Bow. So which one did you want to kick us off
I'll
with?
go with Goofy. It was a bit of a rogue pick. I
Yeah.
just read it and went, okay, you could do this and do that with it. It's inkable, which is great. It has really lovely stats, and it also quests for 2. I think if it was uninkable or had poor stats or quested for 1, it wouldn't be here.
Hmm.
But I kind of paired it up with Maui Sharks. I paired it up with that song that says when something's banished in your turn, draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Um, it it looks cool, and once it's done its ready thing, it then becomes a battering ram or a quester, and I think another thought that I had with this card was if bodyguards become an issue, if the fact that it can ready the bodyguard means that you can then have like a Maui Shark in something better, a better target for you. I like
Ready a
it. It's a cute
Tiana.
card. Ready a Tiana. There we go. See, it's quite a fun pick, isn't it?
Absolutely, and obviously it's a common. People are going to see a lot. Like it's an easy card that people are going to be able to slot into decks without breaking the bank, which is nice.
Imagine
Yeah.
if you had this like paired up with Headless Horseman and you wanted a board wipe, right?
Hmm.
And then like you took something out, Headless Horseman +1, Goofy readies the other thing, took something out +1. You could just like stack.
Nice.
I don't know. I think that was a bad call, but I don't know. I
I
just
don't. I,
thought
I
it'd be
don't think
cool
it's a
to talk
bad
about
call at
something.
all. I think it's good that we're throwing in the odd common for a start, and it's a decent card. You can't say a bad thing about Goofy. I don't think. I'm sure somebody might try in the comments, but he's all right. But we'll move on to a card that I know for a fact is really, really good, and I absolutely love it. Slushy, Glacial
Yeah,
Guster, 4-cost
yeah,
uninkable 5/5 with evasive.
yeah. I'll be picking up foils of this.
I love him. Yeah, me too.
Um,
So banishes. Almost said kills. Banishes Elsa. Banishes Genie. Iago can't
Dumbo
banish this. Yeah, banishes Dumbo.
survives in the Argo.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, survives the
Yeah,
Argo. So any
Maximus.
Maximus.
Yeah, he's got 5 strength, so he can.
Oh, yes, nice.
And
Yeah, cool.
Tinkerbell? No, it's not an ally. So Tinkerbell can
Yeah,
like.
the 2-cost Tink can exert
Yeah,
him.
I'm so rogue, aren't I?
No, I like it. I like that your brain
It
goes to
can
these
deal with
places.
so much, and it's a
Yeah,
turn earlier than Goofy.
yeah. And something that I've been doing is a bit of Amber Ruby playtesting. And
Yeah,
obviously, we're going to talk about another Willow use. You play Willow on 2 and a Slushy on turn 3. And yeah, it just completely stalls Blurple. Blurple really struggles to deal with a Slushy. Um,
well, get your Horseman strikes.
yeah,
Get rid of that pesky guy.
yeah, Horseman
No, it's really cool.
Strikes is obviously good, but oh, actually, now that I think about it, Horseman Strikes and World's Greatest Criminal Mind both deal with Slushy. But that doesn't make him
Yeah,
a bad card. That means he has to be
but
answered. So
but
that's
the
a
thing
good
is,
thing.
slushy is an answer to things rather than trying to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. Cool. Right. That's Slushy. Two songs to talk about now. One that you've already kind of mentioned, Marching Off to Battle, which is a little bit of Ruby card draw, which I like. What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, it's really cool. It can be you can only activate it, I think, if
Character
ban
was banished.
you're going to need plus from it on the banish of something. So yeah, you kind of
Yep.
want to pair this up with Shark. Um, if you have a semi-wide board, then you could probably draw like 4 cards, which is pretty cool. Um, I like to see it play, and I think this sort of like gives Ruby some tools to mess around with, which was
Absolutely.
lacking in the last set.
Yep.
Maui Shark was very, very quiet last set, so it's interesting because it's one of those cards that you can't just instantly see where it's good. You have to like
Oh,
have a
I
correct
can tell
board
you where I
state.
think it might be good.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So yeah, a deck that I built this week and was having a lot of fun with was a Amber Ruby Song deck with Aerial Ethereal Voice, I
Max
think her
Goof.
name is, and yeah, some Powerline Max Goof stuff. So the 2-cost Powerline can sing this, um, Ursula can sing this, and Ariel can sing this. And what you do is you play like a horseman on your turn 5, maybe a turn earlier if you've got a Willow out, and
Yeah.
banish. Obviously, a horseman banishes something. Then you sing this, guaranteed draw 2, and you draw the card from
Yeah.
a boosted aerial potentially. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
I've
I
just come
see
across
it.
a list. I've just come across a list like you've got the um you got the support stuff potentially with world's greatest criminal mind. There's quite a lot of ways to banish. You've got grab your bow.
Yep.
There's like, oh sorry, I think my brain was thinking of like the challenge, whereas there's in this deck there seems
Mm.
to be a lot of ways to banish like, that you could like horseman strike somebody, banish evasive, draw a card, then marching off the ban, draw two more cards. It's
Yeah.
cool. Cooper would be really cool in there with the Russian Reckless.
Yeah. Yeah. Cooper's it. You can build like a quite a top heavy amber amethyst. Um, However, in those sorts of decks that are running like the Cooper and the Maleficent Dragons, and sometimes like the Simba as well, I think a more character focused method of drawing cards with like the Bambi is probably a better route to go down. Um,
Yeah.
but I do see a world where there's like where you can play Bambi and Ariel in the same deck. People might think I'm crazy for that, but because obviously Bambi's only drawing characters, and you don't want to be bottom decking these songs. But
You play about 15 songs, Ohana and Horseman Strikes, which is a lot.
yeah, but sometimes you don't have to go for 15. You could play like 8 of the best songs and cut the Ohana, and sometimes 8 songs isn't too bad for aerial draws, especially if you've potentially got the capability of bringing them back with Maui. And then your
Yeah.
Bambi remains quite reliable on the character draw as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, next Ruby song. Pro, this is the song that would go in these sorts of decks potentially, and it's Grab Your
Yeah.
Bow. Banish up to
Grab your
two.
brawl.
Yeah, Grab Your Brawl. Banish up to 2 chosen characters with 2 strength or less. Have you played with this one much?
I haven't been able to play, so
No.
I've been watching people, but
Mm.
every time I think about a Ruby deck, and most importantly, Ruby Sapphire, this is just going to be a staple. Especially when you can ramp, you can play the five quite easily.
Yeah.
You might with Sapphire Ruby, you do have top heavy characters, so you can sing quite well with this card, and the fact that some Ruby Sapphire lists, especially the item builds, they do really well with manipulating the strength cost. So, grab
Yeah.
your sword is very good. Sorry, grab your bow is very good.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it. I want to play. I want to play Ruby decks because of this card.
Yeah.
Simply
Actually,
because there's a lot of aggro issues, especially early on in meta.
yeah. Usually earlier in a set, cards like this would do very, very well. But if we move on to Sapphire, we can actually talk about a card that would go in a Ruby Sapphire deck with Grab Your Bow quite nicely, and that's the
Yeah,
reprint common Distract.
yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that and why you think this card is going to be pretty good going forward?
Well, it has a lot of utility. Um, the fact that you can -2 and you can put it in a deck with the items, Headless Horseman,
Yep.
Sisu, Bow, and it draws a card, and it also, um, if you're playing against the illusions, it gets rid of illusions too. So
Good
it's
point.
a bit of everything, and I think it's a cool card. I don't know if people will replace that develop some visions for it. It might be a one of or two of, but again, like you could be, it's a cool card to have in a Maui Shark deck,
Hmm.
and I like the whole idea of manipulating the strength and
Yeah.
drawing a card. Like it says draw a card, so it's instantly good.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This card goes perfectly in red blue, like we said. Sisu, you mentioned. Um, Horseman, you mentioned. Grab Your Bow. I think there's a lot of synergy there, and this because it draws a card and is inkable. I see no reason to not put it in those sorts of decks. So I do like this one, and another common to mention as well, which is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make commons great again.
Moving on to
That's such
a
a bad phrase. My
very
bad. Sorry.
a super rare that I could actually see being quite an expensive super rare, and that's Belle, Snowfield Strategist, who's an inkable 4 cost, 2 free stat line, quest for 2, and is a princess. Very important that she's a princess, because you could pair her, put her in Cinderella decks.
Yeah.
Whenever one of your characters is banished, you may put that card from your discard into your inkwell face down and exerted. So even more ramping in these princess decks, which is nice. What do you think about Belle?
She's good because she has the effects like active the whole time,
Yeah.
and so it's not like an on quest or on play effect, which is fun because a lot of cards these days are on play, and a lot of the cards, if they're not, they're boost,
Mm-hmm.
and so this has not got that. Um, I don't know how much you'll use it because of what Cinderella can do, of what Moana can do. It it does the same stuff,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I I think it'd just be a target, an easy target to get rid of.
Well, she
But
counts
I think
herself,
it counts
so she's
itself as well, doesn't she?
yeah. So even you mentioned Cinderella and Moana. You don't necessarily have to put this card in those like big rampy decks with Cindy and Moana. She has lots of uses in.
So
Go on.
my thinking is it could be a good steal Sapphire card,
Absolutely.
especially if you. I like cards that you can ramp your own way. Like you could do damage here to her and something on your opponent, or just do damage to Belle to get the extra ink for the next turn. I think it should be. I think it should be a good steal Sapphire card.
Yeah, she is. She's good in like the kind of more aggressive Kiwi builds. Um,
Mm.
I tried building a list the other day. I never got to play any games with it, but it was like an Amber Sapphire Princess, quite an aggressive
Yeah.
one, um, with like the two cost Rapunzel, which is one of my favorite cards, and obviously Aurora, the one cost Aurora. You can play Bell cheaper, along with your like shift Auroras to give everything ward. So there's definitely something to look
For
into there.
me, for me, she feels like a tech card. Like I
Okay.
don't know if you play a four of,
All right. Yeah.
but I'm
That's
happy
fair.
to be proven wrong. I'm
Yep.
happy at Quest for two. It makes it better because
Yep.
you know you could be put in a position where if you're playing like the Kiwi build and it's like more aggressive and you're like screw this, I'm just gonna go sideways or bell for the two ink. You your opponent's always giving you that ink resource.
hmm
Like they, you know, no matter what happens really. Besides, if they put like Sing Under the Sea and put it on the bottom of the deck, that this card is going into your inkwell. So it kind of does force them to get rid of Bell first, and that might be annoying because you might be behind bodyguards. So it's like,
Yeah, and you might be behind a bodyguard that we'll talk about in a bit, John Smith.
yep,
But yeah, we'll stick to Sapphire for now and go on to another super rare that I really like, and that's Tamatoa, Seeker of Shine, who's a 7 cost inkable 6/6 that you can boost for 2, has ward, and whenever you put a card under one of your characters or locations, he gets +1 lore this turn. So more lore, which you don't like, I know. But something that I've been trying Tamatoa out in is those Amber Sapphire decks that I was talking about earlier, and putting cards under all of your characters with the Scrooge McDuck, and then questing for quite a lot. And I think he has a lot of synergy in the decks with like the Ahana Means family as well. His 6/6 is more important than you might think at first.
yeah.
The other,
I haven't really thought too much about the card. However,
mm,
I think you play this on you play this when you go first. I think it's like a good go first card, especially if you're playing against a mid range to a combo deck. Then getting Tamatoa down and doing its frilly bits is good,
mm-hmm.
but it's just like it's one of these cards that is not an answer to anything. It's more of a right. This is my setup. I'm going to try and set this up. I think the last set has kind of made me think that the high costing cards are usually answers to a board rather than a question. If that makes any sense, like your Hades, your the duck like the purple Hades, Demonas, they're all answers, right?
Yeah.
And this card's more of like a blowout, try and win the game kind of card.
Yeah, it's asking the question of your
I'm glad
opponent.
it's
That's a good
inkable.
point.
I'm glad it's inkable
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
it'd
like
be unplayable if it wasn't.
if you're going second, this is a poor card.
Mm.
Um, and it's good that it has ward. It means you'll be able to try and stick it. Whereas, like Robin Hood sharpshooter, it should have had ward, so
That's
you
a,
could
yeah.
like it could do its thing. So this hopefully because of the ward, it can start doing its thing. I'm interested to see because it costs a lot and boosters quite a lot, even though it's Sapphire.
Yeah. So what
It would have
something that
been cool if
happened
it
to
drew
me
cards.
the other well, something that happened to me is that it kind of I was silly and like sang a Let It Go with my Demona or something like that, right? So my Demona was exerted. Completely forgot that Tamatoa is a 6/6. So he goes,
Yeah,
the Tamatoa banishes my Demona, has 5 damage on him, and then they draw 5 cards with a Haname's family. Um,
yeah.
which is obviously just a misplay from me, but still, like he
It
is
can go.
good.
This can go over everything.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, you besides the evasive stuff. So yeah,
And he can
yeah.
just sit
That's
there
cool.
and wait for you to do something silly, or wait for you to just be like forced to quest, because he has
Yeah,
ward. So yeah,
yeah.
cool. Right. Final Sapphire card. We can go over Pete quite quickly. I covered him in like my top 10 video recently, and it's a card that's been revealed for a very long time. A really good draw engine for Sapphire, and I think if you're not playing Pete in your Sapphire deck, you might be doing something wrong because he is definitely one of the top cards of the set, in my opinion. What are your
I'm not
thoughts on him?
convinced.
What? Madness.
I literally just I couldn't tell you what it does. Whenever this character quests, look at the number of cards equals the number of cards under him. Put one in your hand. Yeah,
What?
yeah,
Okay, this is another nanny situation that I mentioned earlier. If this card
yeah.
read, whenever this character quests draw a card, I think you'd feel very differently about him. Or imagine that it reads this, okay? Whenever this character quests, you can play a magical develop your brain for free. I think you'd like it then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah? Okay, cool. So that's what he does. When there's a card under him, he draws a card. When there's 2 cards under him, he's a develop your brain every time you quest.
Are you gonna be playing cards that can cheat out the boost for him,
Uh
or is it just on
yeah,
a
you kind of you turn
turn six?
6.
You're just
Well,
like,
when you've got
or
6 ink,
turn
yeah.
five. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
turn five. You're doing turn four. You're playing Pete. Turn five, you're boosting it, and
Mm,
then questing, and then got options.
no, so
What are your options gonna
he's
be?
definitely a follow-up to, like, so say for example in Blurpool you play him after your Elsa. You don't play him on your turn 4. He's your last card in hand. You play him when you've got 6 ink. You put a card under him, and then he's very difficult to remove unless they've got like a world's greatest criminal mind. If they're inking him with a Let It Go or Hades, it's profit for you anyway because you would have put that card under him. Um, and he opens up a lot of decks as well. Like he's a 4 of in red blue. He's Would you play him in Sapphire Steel? I, that's probably one of the decks that maybe you would not play him. But he's
Yeah,
definitely a 4 of in my Blurple. I love him. I think he's great.
that's good.
Cool. All right then. Steel now. 4 steel cards to cover. Do you want
No,
to
we've only got
talk?
two because I haven't come up with any. Oh no, I did, didn't I? I did,
Yeah,
I
you've
did.
got Duke Weaselton,
I
Angela.
do want to hype up. I'm gonna get rid of one of the steals for another Sapphire. Let It Go is gonna be so good for decks outside
Yeah.
Blurple and also really good for Blurple because when it went, we just had Into the Unknown, but now you've got a card that can deal with things and like it's not so restricting as Into the Unknown because
Mm,
obviously it could just be anything, right? And yeah, it's really cool that it's back. It's a song, it's inkable, it has to be sideways, and it means if you do want to play those those princess decks that are
yeah.
Amber Sapphire, you have a cool removal tool that is outside Hades, which is good. Jug Wisdom, I think it's good because it requires that doesn't require it in it adds a different side to the game where you're doing something your opponent's turn. I think besides the Simba in set 2, we haven't really had that kind of thing happen, and so with Duke Wisdom, you know, if he gets banished, which you could crash yourself or your opponent can remove, and it's, you know, hefty 3/3 stat, you can play something on your opponent's turn, which is so good. And so I was thinking about the sort of things you could play with Duke. It could be some bodyguards. It could be a dock to draw. Um, it could be Lilos to then set up Pudges or to set up a shift next turn. And they don't come in exerted. So that makes it even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If you were to banish my Duke Weasel turn and I play a Go-Go for free, can I activate Go-Go's ability?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Right? You're a hater.
Yeah, I think I'm still a bit of a hater. I'm not sure he's. I'm not sure he's that good.
The reason why you're not happy with the card is because you have to have a certain bits, and that's probably where I have the same feeling towards the Prince Philip combo and the Mulan. Right, you have to have other bits. Whereas with Duke Wisdom, if you're playing a low to the ground deck, let's say Steel Sapphire or Steel Emerald, which is not a deck at the moment.
Well,
So maybe this
Amber
could
Steel
help.
aggro is very much going to be a deck.
Amber Steel too, and like you could play Penny, right, and heal and resist one something, and then
Ooh, I
you've
like
got a
that.
two quester on board. So
Yeah.
it is exciting, and I think it's cool, and and the fact that you can do a go in your opponent's turn and beat them is hilarious, like really funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you better not have this, and then boom, go.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is like if you're playing those low to the ground cards and or deck, and then Duke needs to be answered differently, so it might have a let it go into it rather than like something that could be more problematic to your opponent. It kind of,
Mm.
it might soak a punch up kind of
Yeah.
thing.
The presence of Duke might scare your opponent into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't. Yeah. All right. You've kind of convinced me, but I'll tell you what. Put him in a deck and come back to me. Let me know.
All right,
Right then.
I'll
Next
play against
steel
you.
card is Angela Night Warrior. Do you have
Oh, so
woof
sorry,
woof?
dog's barked.
That's all right. Um, I hope people actually heard your dog then and not just randomly. I randomly woofed. I might cut this. Okay, right. Angela, Night Warrior, free cost inkable 2/3. Who's a gargoyle. She has the ability Shadow Power. When you play this character, you may give chosen character Challenger 2 and Resist 2 until the start of your next turn. I like that. And your gargoyle characters lose the Stone by Day ability, which is also pretty cool. What do you think about it?
This card's bonkers. I love this card.
Wow, bonkers is a statement. Okay.
I love Challenger +2 and Resist 2 because what I'm doing is I'm playing this, giving my Duke Weaselton +2 and Resist 2, crashing, and then if it crashes into something really big, then it can play Dock for free. I don't know, I'm just joking, but
What?
this is
Okay.
really cool.
Yeah, I do like it. I like the gargoyles like lose their Stone by Day ability. I think she's very poorly statted though, but I
She
suppose
has to
that
be though.
yeah,
She
these are
has to
two good
be.
abilities. Yeah,
This card is really cool, and she's an ally, so you can search her with Jasmine. So
Jasmine, yeah, like that. What gargoyles are you playing in that deck other than Lexington? The bodyguard one, who's also an
yeah,
ally.
and Hudson's a draw and discard.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Angela's pretty cool. She is a super rare though.
I really
Um.
like her. I like her.
Yeah.
It's one of those cards where you're not reading. It says gain 5 law or gain 2 law.
Mm.
It is literally a card where it's like giving you tools to solve problems, and then it's doing a little bit more than that. Especially the fact that it's until the start of your next turn. The resist 2 is so good.
That's a
Like
good
it's
point.
really good
Yeah.
because it could be like late in the game that resist 2 can win you a game. because like a lot of steel cards have like quite high willpower. Like a dog. Sometimes when you play against Amethyst, they can't out a dog because all their stuff is like 2 strength. So you
Yeah.
just resist to it, and it's just like, wow, okay, I can't take this dog out. It's a 1/2 resist to 1/3,
Yes.
sorry, resist to.
Cool. Right. So you
But
like Angela?
what I hope from all these kind of cards is an Emerald Steel kind of making a bit of a comeback, and there seems to be more tools coming out to make that happen.
So John
Yeah,
Smith's a 5-cost uninkable bodyguard with a 3/6 stat line that quests for 2, and has the very unique ability: opponents must choose this character for actions and abilities if able.
yeah,
So almost like Ward, but not Ward.
reverse
So
ward.
reverse Ward. It kind of wards all of your other characters in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is what he does. It's a bit like the 5-cost Aurora. So all of your other characters basically have ward whilst John Smith's down, as he must be chosen. Um, the reason it doesn't say that your other characters gain ward is that it is slightly improved, because there are certain abilities that your opponent would trigger on their side of the board that they can't choose their own characters for actions or abilities either.
like
Um,
tramp.
yeah, they cannot tramp buff whilst John Smith's on the board. They would have to buff John Smith.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd like to. I'm obviously reading it now, and I kind of want to get my head around the whole Aurora thing. If you made John Smith ward, that would it like stop the cards being played, or will it make it
Yeah,
the
it
cards
says if
fizzle out?
able, so it kind of works with, yeah, it would.
Oh, okay. So that means they can like target their own stuff then because you've made it ward. So pairing John Smith up with ward is a bad idea.
Yes, absolutely, that would be a bad idea.
Okay.
But something that I did want to quickly mention before we move on to our next card is that another ability that your opponent triggers for them would be like a Cheshire Cat. So they cannot move damage from their side of the board onto yours, because you have to choose John Smith for the first part of
The
Cheshire Cat's
damage and to move.
and the second part. So yeah, that's
That
just
is
one I wanted to
cool.
mention.
He's not, and he's genuinely not that bad at 5, especially if you play
Yeah.
like Sapphire Steel.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like him.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
like Hercules maybe hero. That
What do you
might
mean?
be. Well, he's a hero.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
When this
right,
character
the
exists,
Ruby
the other characters
Hercules.
can't be dealt damage unless they're being challenged. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
not really.
not
Sort
really.
of, not really.
Could be, could be,
Yeah,
because like if you play Hercules on 4 and then John Smith on 5. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. It's a
cool.
fun, and like Steel have some fun cards to mess around with.
Absolutely.
Unique.
And the most fun of them all is our final card that we're going to talk about today, and that's Let's Get Dangerous, the 4-cost inkable song that reads: each player shuffles their deck and then reveals the top card. Each player who reveals a character card may play that character for free. Otherwise, put the reveal cards on the bottom of their deck. What do you think about this one? Because I really like this one, and like built like a really silly deck with the giant Mickey Mouse, and it was like a high
Well,
roll.
like Circle of Life kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah,
Because you have
sort
both.
of.
You could both have that. You both have either Circle or this.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's 4 cost plus because I'm thinking Duke Westerton kind of like decks where you just have lots of, yeah, you have just like being able to sing. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
think
just
it's
don't want to
cool.
give my opponent stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but your deck's going to be tuned to make the most of something like this, whereas theirs might not be. So if you're playing like, I don't know, a massive steel card like Mickey Mouse or a Vincenzo, then you're definitely going to come off better with that trade. So
Yeah, you're right. Like if you're playing the Sapphire Steel builds of Tinkerbells, Hades, and stuff, this could be a really fun card to add to that deck.
yeah,
And
even
it's
if it's just a
inkable,
one of,
so
like, because it's
yeah.
got this awesome enchanted. So if you pack this enchanted this set, you have no excuse to not put this in your steel deck, in my opinion, because it's just like the most fun one of that you could possibly put in. So
I
I
think
really like it.
yeah, I think it goes in a ramp deck, especially if you can get through some of your actions quite early on. Like you
Mm.
get rid of your visions and your
Oh yeah,
sails and use Moana to
you
ink
do
them.
not want to be like shuffling your deck just to reveal an action. That would be tragic, and then your opponent gets to play a character for free. So yeah, just
I
be
they've
careful
clearly
of that.
done this to stop the like they've clearly done this to stop the because there's loads of cards that manipulate the top of your deck, and so they've
Yes.
kind of stopped that with the
Oh yeah.
shuffle because I think the shuffle thing is so silly. But there's a lot of cards that I mean, because if this came out and it didn't say shuffle, they would have a problem.
Oh, there'd be serious issues. Yeah. Imagine
Yeah,
like
but that'd be
what's
funny.
the green action called? Oh God. Hypnotic
I can't help
deduction.
you.
Hypnotic deduction. You draw three and then put back two on top of your deck in any order you like. Imagine
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
play this.
yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, cool card to
Yeah.
end on, that's for sure.
Right, so that is our giant list of cool cards to look out for, potentially test in your decks. I think some of them might become staples if you agree with that. Do you agree with that? Some of them
Yeah,
might be
absolutely. I
staples.
think the just off the top of my head, the Nani is definitely going to be an Amber
Yeah.
staple.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited for all these cards. I love that. Well, I love the fact that some of these uncommons and commons are playable, and we get to like bring them to you guys and showcase them a little bit more, give them a little bit more respect and some love. So hopefully you guys can get in the comments and say which ones you're more interested in and what's working well in your early day testing. And if you have any recommendations of stuff that we've missed, then definitely let us know. And on that note, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.